How are you
That's
doing,
fun.
Ryan?
Not bad. A little confused about technical errors. Also, I can't get the angle correct.
It's good
Whatever.
enough. It's fine.
It worked. But yeah, a little angry with the laptop, but it's alright, I guess.
I assume we're not all sitting here thinking you look disgusting. So
Well, let's hope not.
yeah. Um. Jesus
Nope.
Christ. I'm
Whatever.
usually like more prepared for this, but I haven't done it in a while.
It's alright.
No, it's not even right. Have you been diagnosed with, or do you suspect you have any mental conditions? Are you in a different mood than usual, or is there anything else a typist should know about your current state?
Um, Nothing out of the ordinary today, but I haven't been diagnosed with anything, but I do suspect probably depression and anxiety, at least. There might be
Okay.
other things, but I'm not gonna speculate on that much.
Okay. That's fine. Oh, fuck. I rewrote the program. I'm not used to using it this way.
I don't know. Man, I just look lopsided. Oh well.
You look
Can't believe
fine,
I'm like
probably.
typing session. Oh, I'm just gonna stare at myself the whole time.
Yeah, that's an interesting side effect. I've dealt with it quite a bit.
Oh.
Um, I should probably know this, but I forgot. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay, that's what I would have guessed.
Yeah.
What do you look for in
Um,
friendships? What do you typically talk about or do with your friends?
um, I don't really know what I look for in friendships. To be totally honest, it just kind of happens, you know.
Yeah,
Like I'll just observe traits over time, and if they're desirable, I guess I'll try to like move closer. But if not, then but um, I can't really think of anything in specific, to be honest.
in specific. Yeah.
Oh, what a terrible angle. Yeah, not really.
If you found out that a friend you valued and respected was a neo-Nazi or some other ideology you take serious issue with, how would you feel? What would you do?
Um, I'd probably try to listen to them about it first, but I don't know if I would be okay with them being like a neo-Nazi. But
I'm gonna quote to everyone that you listen to neo-Nazis.
I mean, they're still a person; they still deserve to be heard, you know. But
Yeah,
at the same time, that's still an awful ideology.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'd try to be reasonable, but they may not. And if they're not, then of course that's where it ends.
Okay. I have the questionnaire in a different place, and I keep reflexively going back to the place where I had the old questionnaire.
It's all right. I
Do
mean,
you
I had
work or
a
study?
terrible schedule.
If so, where do you work or what do you study?
Yeah, I'm currently studying at uh, uh, so I actually have a degree, a computer science degree. It's just an associate's though, so it's not like big boy. But I am big boy degree. I am studying IT stuff now and like security and networking, which I for some reason find pretty interesting. So I'll probably do that eventually in the future. I hope. I've been told there's money in that too, so that's good.
Yeah.
Sure. It'd be an hour of me staring at myself, wondering how terrible the angle is.
I'm lucky because I have to like jump between windows, so I mostly don't have to stare at myself.
Yeah, you have other things to look at.
Yeah. Um, how did you choose to go into that field?
Um, I mean, I've kind of always been kind of, is snazzy the word? Probably not snazzy. That'd be a terrible word. I've been pretty decently good with computers in the past, so I was like, computer science and coding, I'm not that bad at it. But I just kind of went with IT because I was like, well, that's close, and then turns out I like that a little more. Uh, yeah, that's about it.
Okay. If you had the opportunity to change what you were going into, would you? If so, what would you prefer to do instead?
Um, I don't really think I would change. I did consider going to psychology, but that turned out to be a lot of book reading, and I'm not really into that. Uh, but I mean, I
Why
don't
is
mind
that?
going to psychology, but I think I like IT better. Reading's a
I
lot of
see.
work.
Yeah. What aspect of this area of study are you best at? Which are you worst at?
Um, I don't know about being worst or best, but I do like. It was fun because we had at the end of well, hopefully this isn't too much of a tangent. At the end of a test that we had for one of the networking things, it was fun because we had to like completely set up a network or a virtual network. It was just like on the computer. It was a cool program where you could set up networks, but um, we had to set up a network basically with like a bunch of requirements that they had, and then they were just like, "Okay, just go do it. Go set it up from the ground up." Like, oh, that's kind of fun. Um, I wouldn't necessarily feel best with that though. Terrible answer to the question, but um,
It's information.
yeah, I guess it is information. I'm not sure if it's useful, but we'll see. Um, oh boy, I don't particularly like working with like subnetting, but it's not too difficult, and I'm not terrible at it. But I can't really think of anything that I'm really best or worst with.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I don't really have anything. Hopefully, that's not terrible.
Oh, it's fine. How are your grades? Are they better in some classes than others? Why?
Um, they tend to be around A's and B's because I usually end up with chill professors. Also, I end up with like asshole professors, but uh, but there was one that I
The
didn't.
combination of sentences provide no information at all. The fact that you have chill professors and asshole professors.
True or false? Hmm.
You have good grades because you have professors.
Yes. Hmm. Good logic there, isn't it? Um,
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, I do run into nice professors, and they don't really have huge expectations for what I need to do. Um, I had a bad professor this past semester, but it wasn't too bad. I still did well in the class for the most part. So, um, they're about stable. I wouldn't say they deviate too much. Although I
Hmm.
did get a D in the couch too, because that, man, I'm not into that. But the rest should be pretty good. I mean, they're pretty stable around A's and B's. I mean, not like anyway.
Okay. Where do you see yourself professionally in 10 years?
I haven't really thought about it too much, to be honest. I've just kind of been like doing stuff in college to see if I like something in particular. Um, I mean, hopefully in 10 years I'll at least have like a job and maybe my own place to live. But specifically in a job, I don't know.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm trying to remember something.
Weird to look at yourself backwards in a camera.
One moment. I can tell I came very prepared. Okay. When are you most productive? When are you least? Why?
Um, I find that I'm more productive at night for some strange reason.
I can relate
Um,
to that.
yeah, I don't know why. It's like, oh well, it's like 2 a.m. Oh, let's do the homework that I needed to do that I've been
Yeah.
meaning to do all day.
Do you think it's
Um,
because of some like weird like nocturnal effect, or in that case, do you think it's because of like the pressure?
it could be. I don't know. It's hard to say, to be honest. It's just like,
Hmm.
well, I should be sleeping, but I'm gonna work hard now. It might just be because it's quiet, to be honest. Because like my parents like to have the TV on all the time for some reason. I mean, that's just annoying noise in the background for the most part. But yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why. It's strange. I wish I knew.
I mean, at least as long as you recognize it.
As long as things do get done, which they don't usually, but because lazy. Somehow end up
I can
doing things I
imagine.
have to do, so it works.
Yeah. I'm sure you do some things. It
Yeah,
could be worse.
I could do nothing.
Yeah. What are your main hobbies or interests? What do you like about them?
Well, as you know, I have an interest in sociologics, of course, but
Shocker.
uh, um, I also have. I mean, I have an interest in psychology, though I apparently not one that I would study because book reading. But of course, it's just going to be book reading anyway, so I don't know why I'm trying to escape it. But anyway, um, uh, there's the I do play some games, of course. Any typical Discord member does. Um, what else do I have? I always feel embarrassed because I'm like, I can't think of multiple things. Oh, cooking. I do that sometimes. I do that. Um, what else is there? Yeah, that's about it. That's the short list. Can't really think of anything else, to be honest.
Okay. It was helpful nonetheless.
Okay, cool. We'll hope so.
Yes. Do you wish that your hobbies or interests were different?
Uh, not really. I don't. I mean, hobbies are hobbies, and they're both just what they are. And I mean, it's not like I don't know if there's any real good reason to change them. Uh, yeah.
Okay. How often do you acquire new hobbies? How long do they typically last?
That's an interesting question. Never thought about that before. Um, I don't know. It depends on what the hobby is and how far I can go into it, I guess. Or interest. I mean, yeah, I guess interest in hobbies both the same deal. Just like how far I can go into it. What can I do in it? How many different things are there to do in it? You know, which is kind of why I like socionics to begin with, because there's just this depth that you don't get with like Enneagram and MBTI and all
Yeah,
that other stuff. Yeah.
I'm sure
Um,
others would be quick to criticize that as convolution.
yeah. I mean, it does feel convoluted, but I mean, if I
It's
get it.
fun. Do you have any significant other, or have you had one? If so, compare yourself with them. How are you different?
Um, I haven't necessarily had like an official uh significant other, although I had the one, but man, she was odd. It's been a while. I can't really think. Um, is there any particular? Oh well, I mean, I guess I can compare to her a few things. At least. I think I may have mentioned in DMs at one point, but he was kind of like scattered and impatient, and I'm just like, just hold on. You can wait 10 seconds. You don't have to like go now. Just chill. You don't need to be all over the walls. Um, that was one thing at least. He was pretty smart though. Like that was, but he lacked a lot of common sense, unfortunately. Which, then again, is common sense common and is common. But you could go into a rabbit hole on how common sense works and if it's a real thing.
Yeah.
But what else is there? I can't really think of too many other things to compare her. I mean, her driving was kind of lead foot syndrome, where it was either on the gas or on the brake, and there was no in between.
I
It was
see.
like, oh god, stop, please. But then again, people these days don't really teach you how to drive. You know, they're just like, put your foot on the gas, it'll go. Well, how much? You didn't know there were increments.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yeah, you'll know one day,
Yeah.
hopefully.
To be honest, I don't trust myself.
Yeah,
It's
I've been there
intuitive
before.
problems.
Yeah,
By the
that's
way,
what
this
I do.
might take longer than I was expecting, since one side effect of the changes I've made is that I'm being a bit more cautious.
Okay,
Um, so if time becomes a problem, just let me know, and we'll probably have to like continue it in a different session.
okay, that works.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't, but we'll see.
How restrictive are you in choosing romantic partners in general? What is your biggest deal breaker?
Um, oh boy, deal breaker. Well, if they're neo-Nazi, that's probably a bad start.
But
um,
you'd hear them out first.
what?
But you'd hear them out first.
Yeah. What else? Let's see. I haven't really had the option of choosing, to be honest. It's not like they don't really throw themselves at me, because
Yeah.
they want all this. But I don't know. It'd be um, if they weren't really honest, that'd probably be a kind of a deal breaker at least. Of course, there are certain things that you have to. Anyway, lying
Hmm.
is hard and complex, but um, what was the other thing?
If I suddenly find out that the program I'm using doesn't work at the end, then I'm gonna scream. Because I've put like a ton of info into this already.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Hope it works for you. That would be very annoying.
yeah.
Big bad times.
You're my guinea pig. Were you gonna say anything else pertaining to that?
I can't really think of anything right now. I mean, for the most part, it would just be like figuring it out as I go. I don't really have any particular traits in mind.
Yeah. I feel like you've gotten to the point where you're just kind of listing off generically bad things, and you're like, oh, yeah, that'd probably be a deal breaker.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't really think of anything in particular. It would just have to be. They'd have to be in front of me, and I'd have to know them, and then I would be able to list. But anyway.
Yeah. Under what circumstances can you imagine yourself ending a relationship? How easily would you do this?
Oh boy. Ending a relationship is something I still haven't really done. To be honest, just maybe distancing is about it. But that's difficult. If they're really just a problem and like for like my well-being and their own and the relationship, I'd probably be like, yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. Let's see. If they didn't want to listen to me, that'd be a big problem too. Oops. Yeah, that's general guidelines, I guess. Not
Okay.
really,
Yeah.
but
Okay, yeah. That sounds alright. How easy is it for you to feel relaxed? What do you do to relax?
it's not really that hard to relax. I mean, I've heard tales of like some people who just like, well, I have to like go do drugs to relax. I'm like, I don't think I need that much. It could just be a comfy chair, or a relaxing game. That's about it. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything special. Of course, further relaxation, like drinking and drugs and fun, but
Ah,
I haven't like
yes.
gotten drugs or anything. Wouldn't know anything about that yet. But yeah, it's really not that hard.
Alright. Do you wish you relaxed more or less?
I wish I relaxed less because I don't really do that much these days. Of course, coronavirus is to blame for some of that, but a lot of it is just me being lazy sometimes. Or having too many obstacles in the way of
Yeah,
doing something.
that makes sense. How physically active are you? Why?
Not. That's I'm not definitely not as physically active as I should be. I intend to be at some point in the future, but
That's what we all say.
yeah, probably a generic answer. But I mean, I do fully intend to be at some time in the future when there's.
I intend to do good things at some point in the future.
I intend to be good in the future.
Yeah.
There's hope, maybe, until you turn 45 and you realize you can't, and then it's all over.
At least you're aware of it. What do you think that you're best at? When you receive compliments or praise, what are they about?
Um, I mean, it is pretty common for me to get praise or compliments about my techno wizardry at times.
That's, yeah, sorry.
Of course, then again, maybe it's just a younger generation thing where we grew up with it. But I don't know. It's been a long time since I could say that I had like actual praise or compliments. This being said, that I don't have that many friends. I'll say that. That might make more sense. But there. Sometimes my parents were like, "Oh yeah, you cooked that thing good." You didn't burn it. Good job. But I can't really think of anything too specific other than just like maybe techno wizardry, sorcery. I have sorcerized your computer. It will now bend to my will.
How dare you? Take it back now. What do you think that you're worst at?
I have a lot of anxiety around like dealing with people, and I feel like that's my bad suit. Not strong
Bad suit.
Bad suit. You know, the bad suit. But yeah, I don't feel like I'm suited to deal with people, and then they're just like, "Well, you did fine." I'm like, "If you say so."
I get that.
You sure about that? Yeah. Oh boy. What else could I say? I mean, I'm also really bad at like managing dates and things like that, and like due dates. But aren't we all for the most part?
Yeah.
Man, I wish I had more to say. I can't really think of anything.
That's fine. I have a lot of questions.
Hopefully they'll sniff it out one day.
Yeah. Can you think of anything that you're better than 95% of people at, or 99%?
99%. That's a lot of people. Not
If you think
really.
about it, being better than 1% of people is a lot of people.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. 1% is a lot of people. Okay, 99% is a lot of percents.
There you go.
Something that I'm better at. I don't know. I mean, maybe exercising caution for things. That's about it. That's all I can really think about.
In IT, I'm sorry.
Critic.
Yes. All of those other questions were useless.
Negativist NI. That's it. You think about the future and you can use resources. And I
Yeah. One moment. I actually am putting that in as evidence, but like very slight evidence.
oh, okay. If you say so.
Yes.
Whatever works.
Yes. Does your sense of morality ever deviate from what is normally accepted as moral? If so, how?
Can you say that one more time?
Does your sense of morality ever deviate from what is normally accepted as moral? If so, how?
Oh boy, that depends. I do tend to tend. What did I just say? I do tend to be pretty
Take your time.
progressive when it comes to things like that, so maybe that's how I could be different, but not really. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts about like how we even treat criminals, and I know that a lot of Americans are just like, they did a crime, they're bad. But I mean, they're still people. They should still be treated like
Yeah,
they're a
I
person. They should still be paid and things like that for their work. Also, people paying for mistakes that they made that was a small mistake for their whole life. It sucks. But yeah, anyway, I could go hours into random garbage like that. But yeah, I try to be, I guess, hopefully this isn't like a buzzword, more humanistic towards people and like try to treat them as people as much as possible, as long as I can stand, I guess.
I feel like that's what everyone says.
They oppress until they do me bad, then goodbye.
Yeah.
I try not to be too mean to people in general, but anyway. Or at least I try to think through it somewhat a good amount before I do something that might be bad, or at least
That's
try not
good.
to think things. Anyway.
Before I do bad things, I think about them first. What systems, ideas, or experiences have influenced your sense of morality most?
One more time?
What systems, ideas, or experiences have influenced your sense of morality most?
System. That is a good question. There, I watch things like John Oliver and Adam Aaron's Everything, and they point out things to me, and I'm like, wow, I hadn't thought of it like that, had I? Yeah, that actually is a big part of like how I came to care about people who are even criminals, how they should still be treated like people, but you know, then they get pointed out that they're treated like dirt, unlike John Oliver and Adam's Everything, and there's all sorts of other things that I can't list because I don't remember them. There was also, I think, Brene Brown talk on vulnerability, and the talk after that too was also pretty influential on me because like I never really think about it like that either. How like being vulnerable really is like intimacy and all that other thing, all those other things.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself a good person? Why or why not?
Feels loaded.
And
I
remember,
really don't know how to
your
answer
answer is public forever.
that. I mean, I try to be good. I'm not gonna say that I am, but yeah, Yeah, it's hard for me to say that I'm just like definitively good or bad because it's like it feels
Yeah.
loaded and it's subjective and
I feel like everyone's gonna say that until like the 50th person who's like, "Oh yeah, I'm great."
I'm the best person I know.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
Do you want me to move on?
hmm.
Would you like me to move on since it doesn't seem like you have much else to say?
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say.
Okay, that's understandable. Here's a question that's much less loaded. Do you wish that you were a better person? Does it matter much to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to try to improve over time and like make sure that I still do good things. Try to, like, I mean, just general improvement over time is the goal. That would be nice. Just to
That's
like,
really insightful. That helps me a lot.
hmm um, oh man, can't really think of anything. I mean, I just like try when someone brings up something I hadn't thought about. Like, I'll take that into account next time. Thank you. And I mean, I try to be sort of proactive and think about it ahead of time as well, if I can. But there's only a certain extent that the brain can do. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about it. Also, oh boy, I think I shaved lopsided. Oh boy,
Everyone's judging you now.
Yep. I feel like if I didn't point that out, then people would be like, "Ooh."
After this live stream, I'm gonna live stream a Ryan shaming party.
Oh no! You're just gonna go. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. That'd be mad. Shame.
Okay.
Put it back out. Moving on.
All right then. How strong are your emotions?
That's a difficult answer to question. Wow.
Is the pressure getting to you? Are you
I
too
don't
worried
know.
about failing?
Maybe I'm just half somehow. I don't think it's just odd. I don't know why I did that. I don't really know how to describe them. Sometimes they're strong, sometimes they're not. Sometimes I'll be expecting them to be strong and they won't. Sometimes I'm just like, why are they this strong? I'm like, it should be weaker. Why is this a problem? Why does this bother me? I'd say in general they're not very strong, at least as of recently, but then again, I haven't really been doing too much with people to say, like, to be like, yeah, anyway.
I don't know why, but my program's like probability shifting has almost grinded to a halt, so I will probably not take it at face value.
Okay. Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to break it the first time. Although I'm known for that.
Yeah.
Actually, that's probably something I should bring up. Because it's probably answers the
Well, you
question.
did.
Yeah. You can use this pretty well. Something that comes up.
Take that into account.
My brother tends to like to make programs and things, and then somehow, I'll go in and just find a bug of some sort. He's like, "Oh."
Somehow I feel like that would be more common in dialecticals.
It feels. I just run into it. I'm just like, let me just do something stupid, and then it breaks. Like, all right, I did a good thing. I think bad, good depends on. I guess for him it's good because he's coding it. But anyway,
Yeah.
I just don't know how. I just run into bugs. Just like, is it supposed to be like that? No. Oh, okay. Go fix it.
Was it supposed to crash like that?
What was that?
Nothing.
Okay, sorry, my phone's speaker is stupid.
That, that's all right. I won't hold it against you. How easily does your mood change? When this occurs, how often is it due to minor or imperceptible reasons?
Um, it doesn't. I wouldn't say it changes too often, but hmm, it's not usually imperceptible though when it does change. Usually, I'll be able to source it. Although I might wonder about the intensity and things, but uh, what was the question again? Sorry, I wandered too far in my brain and then forgot what I was talking about.
Oh fuck! 1 second.
Oh,
So you know how what I said about the probabilities grinding to a halt?
yep.
I just put one thing in with like a very minor strength, and it changed radically.
Oh wow, that is
I
funny.
yeah. I don't know like the full info because the only thing I'm getting is the highest probability. But
Oh wow.
yeah, we'll see what that means. I'm just gonna move on because I don't think I'm gonna get that much info from this.
Okay.
Does anything affect your mood more than it would for most people?
What was that last part of that question? I just wanted to.
Does anything affect your mood more than it would for most people?
No. It doesn't work for most people. I don't know. I can't really think of anything in particular, other than maybe like thinking about. I don't know how to describe that, so maybe I don't know.
Okay.
Like some people don't think about like abuse of animals and things and people like that. I'm just like, you realize that like hurting them is abuse, right? And they're like, what? Wow, that's a shocker, huh? Anyway,
I don't know what kind of people you're around.
yeah. I mean, it's not as common as you might think. I'm not like I don't mean to blow this out of proportion or anything like that.
Everyone loves hurting animals.
Yeah, it's a common thing that people do.
You're like the lone moral hero here.
Let me see if I can set this up. Oh god, this is the issues of using a phone for a camera. Nope, that's not. Well, somewhat. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, what's the shot?
It's fine, I promise.
I'll set the stream in the background. That's fun.
Yeah.
On my left.
We're only paying some attention to your sideburns.
I can't believe I fucked that up. I'm so angry. I don't think. Wow. Whatever. I even asked earlier to my mom. I was like, "Is it even?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." I have invisible. Anyway, I don't know.
To be honest, I didn't notice until you pointed it out, but they're not even.
I knew it. I knew that if I pointed it out, everyone would see it. Oh well, I'll just do this, and people will be like, "Hmm," or this.
You're owning it. It's okay.
Oh well. I'll have to
No
go
one
fix
wears
that.
uneven sideburns better than you.
It doesn't look too odd, but Jesus, it's strange. They're surely majestic. Thank you, seemingly friendly creature.
It's very true.
You would seemingly be friendly. Yeah, that seems right. Close enough.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The whole world has united under a single world government. It is ruled autocratically. That ruler is you. What's your plan? You get this question now.
Oh boy, this will be fun. This
Yeah.
is my question. Kind of, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So now I'm the world leader somehow. Some tyranny, act of tyranny, I guess, because I get angry enough. Slap Bailey right now.
I thought you were the one moral person who didn't hurt animals. I'm disappointed in you.
Uh, okay. So now I lead the world, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I would reform everything I could touch.
You're like the exact opposite of everyone else.
I would fix school systems, voting systems, the government in general. I would fix whatever I can touch, pretty much, which would be almost everything at that point.
Okay, can you tell me one thing that you would fix, and then tell me how you would do it?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I want details.
I think it's complicated. It's certain. Well, okay, so, all right. I guess I can go into detail on the voting system. That's not my favorite topic, but whatever. It's probably the most details I can give. So I don't know. I'd imagine mostly Americans are watching this, so they probably understand how the voting system, or like parties. Well, voting system. Wow, party system. That's what I wanted to really target, not just voting. Just the. Hopefully, this isn't going to get too political and be like some talk. But I hate how we can only have two parties in America. It would be nice if we could throw in a few more, so it's not just
just for fun.
Like a
never mind. It was
okay.
the way you said it. Go on.
But I don't like that the voting system is basically binary. How you have to vote one way or another, and a lot of people base it off of like, well, I hate those people, so I'm going to vote for these people. It would be very nice if we could have multiple parties, like force multiple parties, I guess, because I don't know how else you could do that. It would 3 parties would probably even be enough. Just like add an extra one somehow, but I guess you could go to 5 or something like that. Would be kind of confusing. Then people would actually have to think about what they're doing. What a shocker!
When I said details, I'm not sure I meant the exact number of parties, but this is an interesting tangent.
I know. I just thought I'd throw that out there since I had thought about it before.
Fair enough. It's information. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably end up shoehorning in some other party somehow, and like make it where there's at least space for 3 or something like that. It would require.
I imagine that if you're ruler of the world, there wouldn't be any parties.
That is true. Why would I? Well, then again, I'd have to set up a system after I'm no longer the leader, or if I retire, or something like that. So maybe I would still end up setting it up like that.
That's a good point.
Wow. I rule the world, but I'm just going to fix the American political system. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, like everywhere from like Afghanistan to like the whole the whole undeveloped, all of the undeveloped areas of the world are calling for your help, but you're here focusing on voting system.
Yes. World hunger is an issue, but have you seen the voting? Have you seen how we vote in America? It sucks. First world problems. Man, I don't know why I didn't think about that. I guess because I don't live in a third world country. Is that the phrase? I guess that's the phrase.
It's a phrase.
That's a good point, though. I'd probably somehow manage to do that, but I don't have any specific plan. I'd have to know like the details of how I'm ruling and what. Anyway, I'm sure there would be a quick assassination, though.
Iron Fist. Okay,
Yeah, that's
that answer suffices.
okay. Good.
I have a few follow-ups on this. How equipped would you feel to lead in this situation? Which aspects of rulership would you be best at? Aside from American voting.
Well, read the question one more time, please. Sorry.
No, it's fine. How equipped would you feel to lead in this situation? Which aspects of rulership would you be best at?
I don't feel like I would actually be well equipped to be a leader to be at all. To be honest, I just want to fix like issues that we have and then move on because making the decisions is hard, you know. Um, and of course, I'm always going to upset someone by doing one thing or the other. So I guess I'd eventually have to get used to it. Whoa. Somebody's just like, no, I'm not holding that anymore. Oh boy. I'm not really good. I mean, I feel like I'm better suited in an advisor position, not really actually making the decisions. Although I would still be angry at someone if they made the wrong decision. People, uh, I'm just not really that great at leading people or like asserting authority over others. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty much the answer is that I feel ill-equipped.
Yeah. Okay, usually what I would ask next is who would take over once you die, but you sort of addressed that. So if you want to go into that, you can, and if you don't have to.
Yeah, I would probably legislate some kind of system for some kind of maybe democracy of some sort. But yeah.
So you're saying no Ryan was second? It's a shame.
Oh yeah, Ryan the second appoint my son. Only if he was. I don't know. I'd have to evaluate him to see if he would be a good leader. Although he'd probably be disappointed if I was just like, nah.
Just like implant his brain into. I mean, your brain into his.
That is a good point. I guess if I'm world leader, I could potentially make the resources to make it where I live forever, right?
Yeah. You might have to like subject a few million people to world hunger or whatever because you're allocating funding, but as long as you can move the brains.
Small potatoes.
Yeah.
I'm obviously more important at that point. No kidding.
I'm going to quote you on that, and I have no evidence.
Well, I mean, if I'm world leader, then but,
Yeah. Do you play or have you played any sports? If so, what kind?
I have played soccer way back when. It feels like ages ago, and it probably has been. My parents were just like, "You should probably do a sport of some sort," and they just kind of put me in soccer. And I was like, okay." I wasn't a huge fan. I mean, I'm not really fast, so I usually end up playing goalie. That was fun, especially when your team's on the other side, and I'm just like, "Well, I'll just wait." I'll
Yeah.
fill them in the position when they need it. Anyway, but yeah, I've played soccer before. I don't know that much about sports, though, to be honest. Just throw that in there.
That's not surprising.
Don't I look like someone who's a sports fanatic? Someone who watches football every Saturday or Sunday? Yeah, wow. That really shows how much I know about sports. Oh man, perfect example.
You're a big sports ball fan. I would usually ask like my scripted questions for those who have played sports, but I feel like you don't even care enough. So I don't think it would.
I don't know if it would help you at all.
I don't think it would. Do you often keep things clean? Is it important for you to do so?
Yes, I like to keep things clean if I can. Although, well, no. But I mean, in the age of coronavirus, where I'm not going anywhere, it's like, who needs a shower? But yeah, I try to keep things clean if I can, especially my laptop. I've had it for like 3 years, and still ended up with a few scratches on it. I'm angry, but it's all right. It's not that big of a deal. I haven't broken it yet, knock on wood.
That's
But
good.
I try to make sure things stay clean if I can, though it's difficult in a dusty house like this one to keep things clean and like, anyway. But yeah, I do like when things are cleaner. That is very nice.
Okay. How strictly do you organize your possessions and living space? If that's not too related to the last question.
Um, mm, well, I haven't really had a living space of my own to organize, to be honest, because most my room still has stuff in it that my parents are just like, yeah, let's just put it in there because we don't have space anywhere else. Okay, thanks. Um, I it's somewhat. I guess I can like talk about backpack because I do sort of organize it, but it's sort of still like organized chaos of some sort.
That's
It's not the
relatable.
best. Yeah, it's not the best system ever. But I mean, I just like a notebook for each class, and then all of this random garbage that I'll probably never use. But uh, but yeah, I try to keep like at least my backpack in order if I can. Or it's not really a backpack; it's like a satchel sort of thing. It's like a messenger bag, I
Container.
guess is what it's called. Yeah, container, more general.
Yeah. Do you have your own apartment or room? If so, how is it furnished?
No, I mean, I do have my own room, but it's not my. I mean, I sleep in it, but it's owned by my parents because it's in their house. Um, it's not very well organized because it still has a bunch of stuff that mostly belongs to my dad because he used to have a computer room in there, and then now it's just kind of storage. But yeah, it's not very
But
well
like,
organized. But I have intentions of
are you
organizing.
to are you to some non-zero extent responsible for maintaining the objects contained within that place in which you sleep?
Um, yes, non-zero, yes.
That's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah, but I have intentions of like cleaning up at some point, but who knows when that will
Oh, that's
happen.
good.
Intention is good, but when it actually happens is a different question.
Um, did you did you furnish it yourself? If so, why do you prefer this particular style?
Oh, I didn't really furnish it myself
Okay.
for the most part. Yeah, it's mostly stuff that's not mine.
Okay. Do you like the style that's contained within the room?
No, it is an absolute mess.
Oh,
It is
that's sad.
terrible. Yeah. Although again, I have some sort of plan to clean it up, but there's a lot of stuff. For some reason, my dad doesn't like throwing things away, and I actively have to fight him on that. So at
Oh,
some
that's
point,
fun.
I just give up on trying to throw things away that we don't need. But
Just throw them out the nearest window before you can do anything about it.
if I put them outside, I'll have to do something about it. That'll
Yeah.
work. Yeah, it won't work. Just get me up. But anyway,
I'm just gonna skip these questions since I don't feel like it's. I feel like in the situation that you're in, it's not going to provide that much information.
no, probably not.
Have you ever led people? If so, how many and what was the situation?
Lead people? Oh boy. I used to be in Boy Scouts way back when, and I was oh god, I can't remember what it was named. The adult in charge was just like, oh yeah, let's have him as patrol leader. Bad idea. I'm not that good. I have a
Why?
terrible memory, and I just can't really get people to do things that well, you know. And yeah, bad memory, and well, I mean, I already said that. My memory's not that bad. I remember saying that, but yeah, I just don't really know how to like get people to do things for the most part, which is the big issue.
That's not good. I don't know.
That's not good.
I don't know what to say. Oh,
Fine.
man.
It's not good.
Are there any situations in which you enjoy leading people? Why or why not? If so, what are they?
Only when I know specifically what needs to be done, I can probably lead someone, depending on if I can actually get them to do it or not, I guess. But when there's no specific direction, I don't know if there's not really any way that, I would definitely not be confident enough to lead when there's no real direction, if that makes sense. When there's no like goal of some sort. It's just kind of there. Like, oh well, it's a group. Oh, well, I don't know what to do with a group. People, let them do what they want. What else?
The intention of this highest probability thing was to conceal what the most likely types are, but whenever I put in any evidence for beta or the IJ temperament, the probability shoots up a ton.
Oh boy, that's fun.
Yeah. Like all of that work I put in, all of that like 10 minutes of work I put in for nothing. Describe your leadership style. Is it authoritarian, tough, soft, consensus building, or something else?
I'd probably be more consensus building if possible.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Although there would probably be small elements of authoritarian if I think that they're going the wrong direction. But for the most part, it would be mostly consensus for most things, I would think. Unless
Yeah,
it was
I was
something
gonna
that
say.
yeah.
I just realized, like, not a ton of people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a very authoritarian leader." On the public.
I exercise complete control. That would be an immediate SLE, wouldn't it? You have complete control of everything. No one tells you what to do. No, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I would probably stick my hand in it, like, well, I mean, I would be in control, I guess, but I would probably defer to my judgment if I think they were going the wrong direction. But for the most part, it would be probably trying for some kind of consensus.
I see. Okay. How do you behave in unfamiliar company? Do you immediately enter into a conversation, look around for a while, wait until someone approaches you, or something else?
Yeah, it's for the most part, it's just looking around for a while or waiting for someone to approach me. I'm not really the kind of guy who goes out and like, hey, I'm the life of the party. Everyone loves me. Yeah, I don't really do that. So it's mostly waiting for someone to approach me or like just looking around and being like, well, I'm here. If someone wants to talk to me, they can.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it was funny when the other person's just like, I was waiting for you to talk to me. I'm like, well, that's not going to happen. Yeah, the color's funky. Oh,
Yeah.
well, that didn't help. Whatever.
It was good enough.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you prefer to talk in small groups, in large groups, or one-on-one? Why?
Smaller groups for the most part. It feels weird to talk to someone one on one sometimes, though. I mean, it's not too hard to do for the most part. But yeah,
Hmm.
for the most part, I like it to be smaller because talking in large groups is difficult. Um, for maybe too loud or something like that, and like you can't get someone's attention because they're off with someone else or something. But um, yeah, it just yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Are you quick-tempered? If so, in what cases?
Uh, I would say not really. I try to be pretty calm and collected about most things, even if it's some kind of argument. Even though I'm terrible at like vocal debates, but you know,
Yeah.
arguing with people in Discord's easier. Even then, I don't really like to. Um, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. 1 second.
Okay. Mm.
Okay. Are you quick-tempered? If so, in what cases?
Oh, right. Yeah. Overall, no. I don't think I am. I would try to like restrain any. Well, I mean, it's not really restraining anger for the most part, but it gets to that point sometimes where someone peeves me, and I'm just like, try to do this the right way.
Yeah, Jesus. Like, whenever I put in evidence for, like, for certain things, the highest probability changes a ton. And when I put in others, it doesn't change at all. And it kind of
Man,
gives
that's the
everything away. Yeah.
big
What do
mystery.
you do if your friends quarrel with you?
If my friends what?
Quarrel with you, like, I don't know,
Oh,
argue,
cool.
dispute, blah, blah, blah.
I would try to resolve it if I can, and like, or at least get
That's how
them to
that works.
get away from each other for a while and come back to it later, where when they're not angry at each other in the
No,
moment.
with you. With you.
Oh, with me. Oh, sorry. Oh boy, difficult. uh, I mean, it's still a similar deal. I, I try to stay level-headed if I can, and like, if not, then I'll just be like, all right, well, let's just try to come back to this later, please, when we're not angry at each other. Um, uh, what else? I also try to avoid like angering them more if they are angry. I mean, there's lots of things that you can say to make someone angry, like you don't know what it's like, and those kind of loaded uh, phrases that it's just never a good idea to use for the most part. But yeah, I would try to try to work it out. That's probably an extremely generic answer, but you
Yeah.
know, it's like, oh boy, he works out an argument. Good job. He exists.
There are probably, to be fair, there's like at least a minority of people who, in an argument, will try to make it worse. So you've
Yeah,
distinguished
that's
yourself
true.
from them.
There are a lot of people who
Um,
just prefer to escalate, and it's just bad.
by the way, since the probability is only like progressing upwards slowly, but very very slowly, do you have like a minimum threshold that you want to pass before we finish?
Minimum threshold of what?
Like of pr- probability on my Bayesian type guide thing
Oh,
before we settle.
not particularly. I would just defer to your judgment for the most part, which probably puts more pressure on you. But I don't mean
Thanks.
to do that. You're welcome. Accept the pressure.
I will. I guess it depends on how much time this takes.
Okay.
somewhere around like 90 to 95% should probably be good since they've been a bit too cautious.
Okay. Cool.
What if strangers quarrel with you?
Oh, what if strangers scroll with me? That's difficult because I mean, the option at least exists where you can just walk away and just like not think about it again. But of course, I would probably think, ooh, I'd probably think about it and be like, ah, man, I could have done that better or something like that. But
Yeah.
that's
Think of
really
some
difficult.
epic comeback.
Epic combat. My name is Pablo Montoya. He killed my father. Prepare to die.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be very easily resolved. I'd be mostly running.
I mean, that's one way of resolution, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Running away. But yeah, that's different because strangers are a whole like. I guess they're the box of chocolates thing. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's just like, yeah, you don't know how their reasoning skills are or anything like that. Well, I mean, not to insult them, but you don't know how they logically think, so you can't really.
Not to insult them, but they might be dumb.
I mean, like you can't work around their logic system if you don't know how it works. Is what,
Yeah.
mostly what I. Yeah, because everyone has their own sort of thing for that, and how they accept evidence and things.
Yeah, that's fair. What do you think of conspiracy theories? Which do you believe in, if any? Why?
I don't really like. I don't really go into conspiracy theories too far because it makes me so angry to think about like flat earthers and anti-vaxxers. I guess real conspiracies don't count though because they turned out to be true. Like how the sugar industry actually like pointed fingers that that content is being an issue in America instead of the problem sugar. But anyway, yeah, that's annoying. But yeah, I don't tend to believe in that many because it's just they're just how many people would have to keep silent about something to keep it a conspiracy just gets ridiculous at a certain point. Like,
I mean,
how
maybe
many people?
it's conducted by I don't know, two or three very important people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, if like coronavirus were some kind of conspiracy, so many people would know about it and have to keep silent about it, and there would be no way that it would be this quiet for this long if it was
Yeah.
some kind of conspiracy, like the moon
Also,
landing and things like that.
You would think that the first people to know about these things would not be the kind of people who believe in these conspiracy theories.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god, I touched a coronavirus patient and now I don't have it. Never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, it's always been that people don't believe in it and then they get it and they're like, oh, well, look at that. It's not a conspiracy. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Big surprise. Of course, it's really easy just to reject reality and place in whatever you want. And
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but
I think a lot of people think we're doing that with socionics. So they're probably laughing at us right now.
Yeah, they probably are. I mean, I don't
It's
like
not entirely wrong.
100% accurate. So
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But from an external perspective, it seems like we worship it.
Yeah. I mean, how many people hate what is it called? Astrology. That's what it is. How they're just like, oh, there's no evidence for it, and like you're ridiculous for believing in it. But yeah.
I'm kind of guilty of that myself.
I mean, yeah, I'll throw that argument in there, but at the same time, I also don't have evidence that it doesn't work. So distinct or definitive proof that it doesn't work.
I feel like the way most people that I've seen use astrology use it seems pretty easy to debunk. But
yeah,
there's like some certain like subsection of it that's perfect or something.
I mean, there's like the oh boy, what is it? Where they like do all of the positions in the galaxy and like how all of those traits. It gets really complicated if you go into that one.
Yeah,
Well, I could see how it would work if it's this complex. I mean, if you cover enough
that's
stuff, it's just going to be right?
yeah. That seems to be the way we navigate things, judging by where
Yeah.
we are right now. Consider a conspiracy theory that you think is very implausible. Why do you think people believe in it?
Um, I mean, I slightly covered this already, but like
Yeah,
people who are like, what is like for the most part, what is the point in making a conspiracy like that? Like for anything, like even coronavirus, anti-vaxxing, flat Earth. Those are the three examples I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there's plenty other ones, like JFK's assassinator. Like he didn't do it alone. He had to have other people. It's really easy to believe things that like things that just line up and appear to make things work. It's. I understand why it's fun to think about it, but what does it do? It doesn't really help anyone.
yeah.
We caught the person who assassinated JFK. Why is that a problem? That it was just one guy. And what is the point in hiding that the Earth is flat?
I
It's
think they just want to feel special.
yeah, that is one thing. It's just like, well, it couldn't have been one person.
Yeah,
I know there has to be other things in play. But yeah, like you're not a special person. You're just some dude who wanted to shoot him. You can't anyway. But there's just no point in like hiding that kind of thing. Like what is there to gain?
I should go onto a conspiracy theory forum and say that I killed JFK.
Yeah, someone who wasn't even alive when JFK did it.
Yeah. If I'm convincing enough, maybe they'll believe me.
Say you're something like the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah. I'm like every well-known serial killer. I killed all of them.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't tell them that you like Socionic, and then they'll say it's the devil.
I mean, if those kinds of people hate on it, then maybe the reasonable people will start to believe in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And we already know some people think some parts of sociology are the devil. Anyway.
Yeah.
What were
Shade thrown.
I'm not going to name names.
I'm not gonna name names. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. What were you like as a kid? Did any moments or aspects of your personality at the time stand out to you?
Oh man, I don't really. I mean, I was pretty quiet as a kid for the most part, and like not really outgoing. Although I did like messing with things and like seeing how they work. Well, I still do that now. I don't know why that's anything different, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I was really, really shy. Although shy is just a cover word for like nervous, but
Those are not very different words.
yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, they're shy,
Yeah.
just to cover up that they have some kind of anxiety. Oh, thanks, guys, that really helps.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, even more quiet than I am now. It's like, even though probably people on Discord are like, well, he never shuts up. I'm not like that with strangers. Very different. And in person too was also a little different. And when I'm not one-on-one, things like that. But pretty much anything can affect it. How many people there, who's there, all that. Hopefully that answered the question, sort of.
Yeah. I think I've got it, because like we're at the point where the probability isn't like 100%, but it would probably take like 5 hours to get anything else this time.
Okay, that sounds good, I guess.
Um, yeah. If you want more reasoning, then I can ask more questions. But if not, I can just tell you what I have now.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
I don't need.
Um, I offered two possibilities. I'm confused about what's going on right now.
What the program?
No. Okay. I'll just and I think that okay. Yeah. I'll just. Oh God, this is a lot of things. Um, because there's like reasoning for everything. I have to scroll up, but I can tell you right now that NEF is at 0.0%.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay. Yeah. TIS is at 89%.
TIS.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
and I'll just list off the major reasons for that.
Okay. Sounds.
Um, what the biggest thing was that I saw some inability or some struggle to describe your own emotional workings. Um, and you weren't able to you didn't have a ton of deep insight there. Um, explaining this is more difficult than I thought it'd be, since there's just like a ton of very like isolated points that connect to each type. Um,
It's all right.
some things that we're also illuminating um, are the area of study that you're currently in. Um, the fact that you seem to have historically just been good with computers, the fact that you got good grades,
Mm-hmm.
um, the general quietness. Um, I think the level to which you care about cleanliness, even though you do struggle with it somewhat at some points. I think everyone does. Gave it away.
Yeah.
I don't think I think everyone thinks that the level to which they struggle to maintain cleanliness is higher than average, but no one
Yeah.
can do it right. Um, the fact that you didn't seem to be highly averse to the role of world ruler sort of was pretty high evidence of central.
Hmm. Not a
Like
bad reason, to be honest. Not
I
really
think
bad.
if you were truly TIN, then you would have absolutely hated the idea of that.
I mean, I want to fix things first. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Probably.
you see what I mean. Um, a lot of people would think that the high SE would mean that you are quick to anger, but of course, because you're balanced stable, that would mean that you're most likely not, and that you're good at staying calm and collected, which you seem to be, and you mentioned it yourself.
Yeah. I
Um,
think people love to overstate how angry they are. Like, why
yeah,
would, why would a TIS be that angry? They have SI as well. Like,
yeah. Well, it's mostly the people who think that what they consider the demonstrative is like a very unimportant aspect that you don't care about at all.
yeah, that's a
So I
big
guess that
problem.
yeah. I saw some evidence of developing your ideas and your intuitions from external sources, such as like um, the extent to which you get things from like John Oliver, which kind of it kind of indicates sensing over intuition.
Just John
Uh,
Oliver? No, I'm kidding. That's
yeah,
really good.
you fanatically watch him 24/7.
I don't even have HBO. I just watch him on YouTube all the time.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna skip that part because I don't know why I put it in. Um, some other things, you had some difficulty identifying deal breakers and your own strengths and weaknesses, uh,
Mm-hmm.
logic and sensation, respectively. Even more quiet, not as a kid. I just read that off verbatim, but I didn't phrase it well. Uh, I think that the fact that genuinely stated that you get angry thinking about certain groups of people was evidence of centrality, especially beta. Uh, a lot of these are just the same thing. Not outgoing, doesn't like dealing with people. Yeah, that's basically those are basically the main reasons. I don't. I think the other things aren't very important.
Okay.
Yeah, I would feel pretty confident considering you that type over the other 15 at this point in time.
Okay. Sounds good. I don't
If you
really have
have
any
any,
to be
okay.
honest. Yeah. I might
That's
think of
fair.
them over time, but we'll come back to that when that happens.
I'm just glad you didn't ask me how my subtype system works, like everyone else does.
I have a sort of intuitive understanding of it already.
Yeah, that's good. It means my video worked.
Gasp, I have an intuitive understanding. I must be intuitive. No, I'm kidding.
My critic suspicion before must have been right. Okay. Yeah, if you don't have any more questions, and since the chat doesn't either, since it's completely dead, I will probably let you go now.
I think I'm good. I can't really think of anything at the moment. I might later, but not now.
Okay, you can ask me if you do.
What was that? Sorry.
I know, I just said you can ask me if you do, which is
Oh,
pretty
okay.
obvious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, goodbye then. Goodbye, like, maybe 1 or 2 people who are watching.
Yeah. Oh, there's actually 3 watching. Well, I'm one of them. I have
Oh.
Big surprise.
Yeah.
So I'm inflating your number by 1. Woohoo!
Thank
A
you.
whole 1.
I don't know how I could live without it.
But yeah, I don't have any major questions, and I don't know if there's anyone in the chat to ask for the most part.
There's not.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then.